I want to welcome you all here, all seriously. Like, we have been working on what has become Galactic Starfighter for a while now. It's making a noise in my ear. You guys used to know it as a super secret space project, and we kept trying to deny it, and that didn't work. Anyway, how many people are playing on PTS right now? Can I see your raise hands? Who've played it? It's pretty good. Boy, for you guys who have not played it, you're in for a treat. I guarantee it. It might be a terrifying treat when you get blown away by the people that have played it. Practice. I guarantee it'll be fun. Before I hand it off to Blaine and Michael, who are actually going to talk about the things you really want to hear, I want to talk a little bit about TOR overall. Because there are things that are near and dear to my heart. I think they're near and dear to your guys' heart. If you look back the last year, almost a year ago to the day, we launched our free-to-play MTX model within TOR. And when we did it, we had to be very frankly terrified. We had no idea what was going to happen. We had plans, we had ideas and thoughts about what we could do and what might happen. Do we lose all our subscribers? Do we not lose anybody? We had no idea. And so we launched our free-to-play experience. We launched the cards on the market. And then we kind of sit back and go, the first month was pretty good. And then the second month was pretty good. The third month was pretty good. And then we launched Rise Out Cartel in the fifth month and the sixth month. It's going pretty good. And it's going great because of you guys. Like, we really have tried to honor our commitments to you in the last year. Like, and we're not perfect. But if you look at the last year and the things that we said we were going to try to do a year ago, whether it be an update every 2 months, every 8 weeks, whether it be trying to maintain a positive balance between what the subscriber gets and what benefits, what we sell in takes more, what we don't sell, probably more important. Listening to the players and trying to do what you guys want us to do. Like, we really try to do. And if you look at things like Starfighter is a great example. Like, you guys have been screaming about a brief, space game of some sort. Like, anything, please give me anything, free flight. Probably since before we launched the game, to be fair. You guys have talked about things like making sure that we support the PvP and not just the PvE opportunities in the game. And you look at version 2.4, for example, we launched 6 weeks ago. Like, what an awesome PvE and PvP update. Like, our readers are awesome. I wish I could share some of the numbers behind the amount of people playing PvP after 2.4 compared to 2.1. The player base speaks for those numbers, and in general, you guys love it. I can tell you we've had over 10 million accounts created in TOR since we launched this game. 10 million people have played. But even more, I think, important to me, and it should be important to you, every month we have more than 1 million people playing to this day. It's huge. You guys continue to show the support for the game, which enables us to continue to support the game and to do the cool things that you want us to do. If you look back again, kind of through the summer, after Rise of the Cartel, we launched a bunch of new events. We're still working on more. Things like the Bounty Hunter event, the cool things we've done with that. The customization system that we put into MTX, that was in direct response to things that you guys wanted us to do. Sometimes we don't do exactly the way you ask, but we try our hardest. New morsels, new ops, new missions that you can do in the game, that kind of that PvP experience. I think 2.4 is nice, badass. We've got more for you in the future. PvP arenas, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Just yesterday was today, just yesterday, we launched season 1. Finally, we launched season 1. So we've got it figured out now. We got the leaderboards up, we've got the seasons figured out, we've got more to come. Lots of leaning in to good things for us on PvP. And then we heard a lot of screaming around how hard it is. So we go free to play and give our game out for download. How big is our game? How hard is it to download? Like, come on, I mean, really, if you didn't buy it in the store and you're downloading our game, it's pretty rough. So we introduced BitRater's a streaming solution that allows players who come to the game, new players, to download the game in 2 hours. Something like that, hour and a half, 2 hours. It's awesome. I don't know if you guys can understand what a feat that is, but it was a hell of an adventure for us. And then again, I can't underline our commitment to you guys and really try to listen. Like, you look at these Cantina events. We take these very stupid reasons why I'm here and all of these guys are here. We want to sit with you. I spent the last 30 minutes talking with different people in the crowd, listening to what they have to say, trying to understand what actually is meaningful to you, what sucks and what doesn't. It's important. And we're committed to continuing to do the things that you want to do, that are within our power, that fit within the design of the game. We can't do everything. I think no quick update would go without talking about the cartel market, just a little bit. If you look at the cartel market, here's how I look at it. It gives us an opportunity to do so many new things in the game that we just wouldn't be able to do. Because if you think about it, the cartel market is its own business. It makes money, which then enables us to do more things, which make money, which enables us to do more things. It's just a logical loop. And so we started out kind of small, and we're like, I'm not sure how this is going to work. But we put in hundreds, literally hundreds of new items in the cartel market since we launched it. Whether it's new uniforms and outfits, someone who's scrolling with bees, whether it's new companion characters, this stuff. So new companion characters, whether it's new ways to customize your character, I talked about. Creature mounts. So creature mounts, talk about something that we probably would never have done with a cartel market. Really technical, difficult to arrange. But cartel market comes along, we hear the players screaming and shouting about it, we implement it, it's badass. I mean, really cool stuff. Plus, the introduction of the cartel market reputation system. If you guys really like to play with the cartel market, the reputation system gives you more rewards that benefit you as a cartel market player. This thing's awesome. And I want to thank everyone from my heart for making it all possible. I want to commit to all of you today. We are going to continue to do the things that we've been doing. I don't see a lot of massive change. I'm not here to tell you maybe we're going to go in some different direction or something like that. But I can commit to you that the things that are important to you, we're going to try to continue to do. We're going to keep doing frequent content updates that you're going to get for free in general. So you look at these patches that we do every 2 months or so. These things come to you as free content updates. We're going to continue to look at expansions like we've been doing. And if you look at kind of where we were with Rising Up Cartel, Rising Up Cartel was an expansion that grew the level cap, put in a whole bunch of story, new content. It's very different than Starfighter, which broadens the game. It doesn't raise the level cap, it doesn't do anything at the top levels. As a matter of fact, you can play Starfighter as a level 1 character and not touch the ground game if you really want to. You're welcome to. Starfighter broadens the game. They're two very different things. So you're going to see the same types of things coming in the future. We're already working on and thinking about what's next after Starfighter. Is it another content expansion on Rise of the Cartel? Is it something different that you guys don't even know about? But maybe have been screaming about silently in the forums that broadens the game in different ways. So we're thinking about a lot of things along those lines. And again, I commit to you continue to listen. So keep talking, especially through Eric and his team on forums and the community and all the different ways that you do. Keep talking about with how you play the game. What you buy on the market, what you don't buy on the market influences what we sell. What you play in the game influences what we lean into and expand on. So you speak by how you play. Okay. I've talked enough. You do not come here to see me, stand up here and talk about Thor, though. I love it. That's what you do. We really came here to talk about Life of Starfighter. So I got two guys with me, Blake Christine and Michael Backus. These guys have been pouring their life and soul into Starfighter for the last year. And they know everything about it. They know every decision we've made and why that's made. So they've got a little presentation to give you guys. and you're all going to get a chance to go play. And hopefully I'm going to play with you. Anyway, I'm going to get it over to Blaine for sign now. Thank you very much.
This needs mean with the gunship.
He needs his beer.
So yes, Blaine Christine, senior producer at Fiber Austin, been there for 6 years, was there at launch, have been a big part of this experience for a very long time. And super excited to be here today to talk to you guys about Galactic Starfighter. This was something which, from launch, obviously space was an important part of what we wanted to do. We have the single player experience, it's on rails. We felt good about that at launch. Like we had the promise of Star Wars space combat. There's some really cool moments in the single player experience that adds to the overall flavor of the Old Republic. But even before launch, we knew that there was more that we wanted to deliver on with space. And so about a year ago, Michael Backus got a chance to sort of spin up a small team before I even got involved and talk about what we wanted to do. And this is in the midst of I was working on the free-to-play conversion, and Rise of the Cartel was in the works with a large portion of the team. And so we had a little team that really just started to think about it. And think about what it means to create a Star Wars space game. And fortunately, as he and his team looked at this, the ideas they came up with meshed really well with what you guys, the fans, have been crying out for. And so we always start from a place, which we did with the base game, and we did in here, what does it mean? Like, what is Star Wars space combat? You look at the movies, you look at previous games. I'm a huge fan of the old Star Wars space combat games, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, played the crap out of those. And so this is a project that was near and dear to my heart. I know Backus was the same way. But ultimately, to us, it came down to getting as close as we could to those experiences from the movie. The trench run on the Death Star, the battle for Endor in Return of the Jedi, or even the battle in Episode 1, which is crazy it is, with taking out all the crazy robot army on his own, which was a little bit silly, but it was still awesome because there were cool explosions and you're flying through space past these massive capital ships, and we wanted to recreate that to the best of our ability. And so ultimately this led us to the super secret space project, which is, as you now know, free flight 12 versus 12 space shooter. And really we wanted to stick with 3 core concepts. One, I just discussed. It had to feel, look, smell, taste, you don't have to taste it, like a Star Wars space shooter. But then 2, it had to be just fun to simply fly your ship around the level. And that was really important to us, just a feeling like it's cool to fly through the level. And so when if those of you who have played it, those of you that will play it tonight, that you just really worked hard on the controls and the level design to make sure that was fun, the weapons and the explosions. And then number 3 was customization. And so this really tied into, it's not as obvious because this wasn't a part of the previous space shooter games or something you necessarily see in the movies, but for us it tied into the ground game very well. Like obviously you guys are attached to your characters and customizing them to a high degree so that you feel and look unique within the game and can play the way that you want to play. And so what you'll see in Galactic Starfighter is you actually become attached to the starfighters as you select your style of play. And then as you progress and gain requisition, which is the form of experience in Galactic Starfighter, you can customize your ship to a very large degree. You see the actual weapons swap out, primary and secondary weapons. You see the actual model of the ship change when you swap out engines. You can customize your blaster colors, your engine colors, the paint job, the color of the paint job. And then beyond that, we've got crew, which draws from the companion characters you guys have worked long and hard to unlock in the ground game. So you can actually assign a co-pilot from your companion characters and hear brand new video as they bark at you as you're flying through Galactic Starfighter. And so this is just a new dimension. And then last but not least, there's a ton of behind-the-scenes stats and abilities for you guys to play with as you progress. All of the components have a very large upgrade tree, so there's going to be lots of toys for you to play with for a long time to come. And of course, a big part of this is testing. Like we've got a multi-stage testing process. We test on the team and iterate. And when I mean team, I mean the Starfighter team. We feel good, then we test within the studio and we take that feedback. Then we do focus testing and bring in subscribers and former subscribers and just action gamers and say, how are we doing? And we iterate. And And then for the last 7 weekends, we had the regulators group. We ran things a little bit differently on PTS this time, but that was because we actually needed to make sure we got the population that got on PTS to actually support and give us the data that we needed to make sure we launched this particular game in the right way. And you guys were great about getting on PTS, giving us feedback to help us shape this experience. And so with that, I want to roll through just our launch plans real quickly. How many folks are subscribers in the room? All right, so this is going to be really easy because there's 3 phases of launch, but all of you are going to be in from the very first phase. So what we chose to do with this expansion, obviously, it's a free-to-play expansion. You're not going to have to pay for it at all. And you guys all get early access as of December 3rd. And this is the full game. So we are talking about 1 game mode, Domination, with 2 individual maps, which is Kuat Mesas and our asteroid level, which is called Lost Shipyards. You've got, from December, 14 unique starfighters divided between 2 factions with all of the customization stuff that I just talked about, all available in December. Now, how many folks were also subscribers at the beginning of November? Okay, cool. So you guys will also have access. I said 14 unique starfighters. There are 3 roles, which we'll talk about roles when Bacchus gets up here. We have a scout, strike fighter, and gunship. You guys are the only ones who will get access to the gunship in December. So anybody else who was not a subscriber at the beginning of November will not have access to the gunship at all. So you have special access to an entire role for almost a month and a half. So that's fantastic, right? And then as we move through the various phases, we basically in January open up to preferred status players, and we do add the gunship for everyone at that point. They have to earn the gunship with requisition. You already have it from the bottom of our carts. It's free to do, along with some badass paint jobs too. And then in February, so we add more ships in January, and then in February we add an entirely new role, the bomber. Those of you who are on PTS, you're under NDA, don't talk details about the bomber just yet. We have a new role that will come out, and we actually add, by that point, we'll get to 24 unique starfighters. And I also want to mention that at that point, we add an entirely new flashpoint, and that will be the Kuat Drive Yards, and this is a very unique flashpoint. A little bit different than what you've seen before. So it's level neutral, and it's role neutral. So this is available pretty much from level 10, the second that you can get into Route Finder. And it's also dynamic flashpoint, so we sort of mix and match pieces. So each time you go through it, it's a little bit different of a play experience. So it's something special, and it's something cool, and we're pretty excited about it. And we will also have a new area on the fleet at that time too, and all of this just ties the experience together. The story of the Kuat Drive Yards flashpoint actually ties together with the Starfighter experience, so it's pretty cool stuff. As far as the reward stuff, you guys have probably already seen the website. If you haven't, go there. You got paint jobs, ground game outfits, early access to the gunship, titles, all kinds of great stuff that's going to come your way throughout the next few months. So that's fantastic. And then we've got a really robust plan to support this feature moving forward for a good long time. So you will see a lot of content and features added in the coming years that it will be supported as we support the rest of the game with a very regular cadence and regular updates. So it's going to be pretty exciting stuff. And then last thing, if you guys weren't in the regulators, you need to play tonight, obviously. The next 2 weekends, starting at 7 p.m. our time, CST, on Friday, you will have open PTS access to Galactic Starfighter. So all subscribers to the PTS, next 2 weekends, give us your feedback. It's going to be awesome. And last thing I have to say, again, as a fan of the genre of space shooter, like somebody who's played these games for years and years and years, like, this is the best space shooter I've played. And it's within Star Wars The Old Republic, and that's mind-blowing to me. So every time I play it, I'm super excited. So I'm excited for you guys to play it as well. Let's get back to here to talk details.
I'm going to challenge DJ DS, I'm going to do an abbreviated version of what is probably like a 20-minute speech. So if I go a little fast, I apologize. I feel like we've been talking a lot during the Q&A session. And I'm going to break tradition. I'm going to walk away. I want to walk because I've talked to maybe a dozen people. It's really creepy to watch their heads. question. I've only gotten a chance to talk to maybe like a dozen of you so far, but I wanted to really have a connection with all of you because I have a job and I get paid because everyone in this room. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. If you have a comment, a question, there's something you want to know, like I'm lead designer on Galactic Starfighter. I want to talk to each and every single person in this room. You guys deserve it, you've earned it, and I want to thank you. I want to be here, I want to hear your ideas. So, the abbreviated version of Galactic Starfighter. We're going to go a little bit more detail as we go into the demo room, and then on to the Q&A. So let's get started. As we've already said, level 1. You literally can download the game, create a character, and gain access to Galactic Starfighter. There's no other barrier of entry. We really want players, no matter how much they play the game, to get access immediately. So, you log into the game, the first thing you do is open your hangar. Now, traditionally, Star Wars: The Old Republic is an RPG, and we really wanted to embrace some of those elements and bring them into Galactic Starfighter. Not only is it a free flight space experience, but it's really a role-playing game. Your starfighters are your character, are your ship. We wanted to really establish an attachment with those ships. So things like progression and customization are going to be things that you're going to see a lot of. And that starts with roles. Roles are your class in Galactic Starfighter. The scout, the gunship, the strike fighter, these are all different roles. Each have strengths and weaknesses. Each really have kind of unique game mechanics that the other ships don't have. The scout is your traditional like A-wing or TIE fighter. It's a fast ship, it's elusive, it's got really bad armor and shielding. You make up for it because you can dodge everything. The strike fighter is like the backbone of your entire fleet. It's your X-wings and your Y-wings. It's really versatile, really good firepower, really good defenses. It's the best dogfighting ship in the entire game. And then there's the gunship. Lane mentioned the bomber already. The gunship is one of our first support roles. It's effectively a sniper for all intents and purposes. It's long-range artillery. It'll allow you to soften the defenses of an objective before your team actually attacks it. It's also going to be great at taking out any stragglers, like ships who are trying to escape from battle. Right? Now, let's get into customization of these ships. The first thing that we did was create variants. Now, variants are a unique way to play a role. We knew while we were designing roles that not everyone was going to want to actually play them the same exact way. So what variants allow you to do is kind of say, you know what, that's really more how I want to play my scout. I want that version of the ship. To give you an example of using the scout, one variant is really good at like detecting opponents, harassing and debuffing enemy ships, and really good at using guerrilla tactics and then escape. Another version of the scout is really good at dogfighting, using its speed and its agility. And that's kind of what you're going to expect across all of our different roles that we introduce. The next level beyond that, your ship is your character. And so we created the component system. The component system is equipment for your ship. It's what's going to visually start to make a dramatic impact on your ship. It's also going to make huge impacts on your gameplay. I think I was telling a couple at the table, defensive maneuvers. When you put a new engine on a ship, there's an ability that you'll gain with a number of them called a defensive maneuver. And what a defensive maneuver allows you to do is a kind of maneuver that you can't normally do while you pilot your ship. So two examples would be like a barrel roll, because everyone in this room should be familiar with barrel roll. Yeah. And then one of my favorites, which I blatantly just stole from Top Gun, is called retro thrusters. So a barrel roll allows you to basically spin, jet forward, break missile lock, and get the F out of dodge. Well, retro thrusters is really an advanced maneuver for people who really like the dogfight. You're going through the asteroid field, you've got the bogey on your 6, you hit your retro thrusters and it's going to shoot you backwards. He zooms by and then you drop in behind him, effectively turning that predator into your prey. So that's the type of gameplay impact that your components can have on your ship. Oh look, engines. That's our bomber for those of you who haven't seen it yet. Can't talk about it until tomorrow. Nope. Oh, February. Yes, February. Tomorrow. So what happens after components? I'll Starfighters, go now. So Blaine mentioned this already, but I'm mad because he got the applause for it. Companion characters. We brought every single... We brought every single companion character in the ground game, including Shriek, including HK, every single one of them, really insane, sweet. Even both versions of people like JSA, all of them have hundreds of lines of new VO. All the original actors came down and offered their talents. Everyone else, HK is basically criticizing you about how inefficient you were about taking out that opponent. Honestly, it adds so much personality to the game as far as just having that tie to the ground game, but also these companions that you love. I'll give you some insight now that we need to request. How it kind of works is you can unlock all of your companions for free by playing through ground game story, but then you can spend your requisition to unlock other companions. So if you're like Trooper, but you want like the Jedi Knight companion, you can unlock that one and bring that guy on your ship for you. What? Look, I get those in odds, you get applause. And we didn't stop there. Obviously, as Blaine was saying earlier, all the nice little unique touches to make your ships really versatile are there. Paint jobs and paint colors. If you and your guild all want to be orange and blue with the same paint job, you're going to be able to do that. The iconic colors are there too. If you want your strike fighter to be the red and the white, as far as like the X-Wing fighter, you're going to be able to do that. And we didn't stop there. Engine colors, blaster colors. My dream, and I can't wait to do this when I'm really on, is make my blaster colors the same color as my ground game lightsaber. Like, I want everyone to know, keep them to the set. Woo! See, he's waiting for you regulators to try and sneak up and talk about the bomber. That's why he's in the back now. Ultimately, though, we didn't just stop with the actual your starfighters. The experience, we really wanted to be an immersive Star Wars experience, and we knew it went well beyond that of just your strike fighter, your scout, your gunship, or your bomber. It really also had to do with what you're doing and where you're doing it. Really part of the immersive Star Wars experience is trench runs, capital ships, hitting bases, asteroid fields. All of those things were really important in making this experience what everyone expects it to be, us internally and through the fans. So we took a look at all of the different climactic battles, and we really let them influence our design and our approach to Galactic Starfighters environments. So for instance, the first thing you'll notice is that Star Wars is very cinematic and very panoramic. Well, sure, it's not logical because there's no up and down in space, but it made a lot of sense from a design standpoint because intuitively we found it was really much easier to orient yourself in three-dimensional space when you could tell what the top and bottom was. And so little things like that went a long way in really making the environments immersive and feel Star Wars. The other one that I like is scope and speed and scale. In the vastness of space, it's really kind of crappy. You can't tell how fast you're going. It's not until you're next to a capital ship like a Star Destroyer, where you're flying over the surface of something, that you really start to understand how fast-paced the combat is. And we took all those cues and we put them into our levels. And we really big see that today. So I think, yeah, we talked about role, we talked about variants, defensive maneuvers and companion characters, and then we talked about environments. So, we have a little bit of a surprise. I get a win. I did premium ships. I'm totally stupid. I guess I'm not giving you the short version, we get the whole long version. Premium ships. Nice. Premium ships. Premium ships. We were sitting around with our associate art director, Michael Shada. He was working with the concept artist, really kind of defining the look and the feel of all the different ships. And he comes to Blaine and I, and he says, I've got an idea. How cool would it be if we could take every ship that we use as a prop in the ground game and let the players fly all of those? So every ship that you find on Voss, on Balmora, every single one of those, we've actually turned into what we call a premium ship. These are going to be purchased from Cartel Market, though some of them will be in packs. They're basically exactly the same as other variants, but they get this really cool, unique Old Republic vintage feel. So if you ever saw that ship on the Cat or whatever, you're like, I want that one, more than likely you're going to see it. At least, if not when we release, it'll be coming. Alright. Now we'll get to the stories. Oh, you ready? Oh, plane's ready. Okay. I have the honor of premiering the newest trailer for Galactic Starfighter Domination. I meant it when I said, look, even if it's just to say hi, we want to hear from you, pull me aside. I don't care if your idea is the terriblest idea in the world, or you just want to say, hey, that was really cool, or hey, we don't really give accomplishment, so just come right in.
Thank you, Bishop. Alright, I think the only thing that all of you are sitting there thinking is, will these people in polos shut the hell up and let me play Galactic Starfighter? So, lucky for you, I talk really fast, I'll wrap this up super quick. Again, as they explained, the space stuff that press off earlier today, and for those of you who are regulators, the NDA was tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., so expect to see a ton of information on the internet, and they are right, don't talk about the bomber. But if you are a regulator and you have questions about what you can or can't talk about, come find me and I'll tell you. What else did I have? So OpenPTS going to start this weekend. I know I joked about before that my little logos is goddamn ridiculous at Galactic Starfighter. He's going to be the one doing the stream. We're going to do a stream on Friday night on OpenPTS. We're going to be playing. It's going to be Lobos is going to be playing. I'm going to be there with him. So play on PTS on Friday. You might have a chance to play against him, and if not, come watch us and watch Lobos just destroy everybody. It'll be really fun to watch. So. It'll be on the official Star Wars The Old Republic Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/SWTOR. This is going to be our premiere stream, so we'll be doing all more streaming in the future, but for now it'll be, let's watch Lobos kill people. And the last thing, it's always the note that I try to make, if any of you are active forum users, come find me and tell me who you are and we can chat about the forums, because I always like to meet people in person that I read about every day. So come find me.